10 minutes to your health.
All right, so much is happening around us, so we have to always remember to take care of our mental health. Join us via Skype to discuss the psychological effects of COVID-19 and anxiety it may cause for some people is Dr. Carol James Bateman, clinical psychologist. Dr. Bateman, James Bateman, morning.
Hi, good morning.
All right, so I know people speak about your physical well-being and your mental well-being. And with people being locked in at home for the most part, not being able to go out because of COVID-19, how
Right.
are they being affected mentally?
All right, so I want to highlight 2 points today. Um, Persons are being affected mentally in terms of individuals who suffer from mental illnesses. This event is quite stressful for them. So what you'll find is that persons who have depression, anxiety, these symptoms are going to be heightened in comparison to other persons who don't suffer from mental illnesses. For other individuals who are not sufferers of mental illness, what you'll find is that they'll have the heightened emotions, the heightened stress that comes with that, the fears, the anxiety, which is quite normal and natural because this is outside of our control and a lot is happening and our lives are being threatened. So these emotions that come up for individuals will be quite difficult for them to tolerate.
Yeah, the pandemic will stir up some strong emotions. How do you suggest we handle these, though? Because a lot of times we're told not to talk about our feelings and we don't express our feelings enough. How do we go about that?
Right, and that's where you're supposed to do the opposite. So we're supposed to talk about our feelings because our feelings they tell us what is happening in our circumstances. They register life and living as human beings. These different types of emotions that we experience, the emotions acknowledge what's happening around us. So, for instance, persons may feel anxious, and the anxiety comes about because the mind is in the future and the mind is worrying about what's about to come next. And it's predicting something that's pretty negative, a negative outcome. So it makes sense that persons are gonna react to this threat in an anxious way. So it's important for individuals to acknowledge that, okay, what am I feeling right now? I'm feeling anxious. Okay, how do I work through this? So some self-talk, the fact that you're able to validate the emotions, you start with that. And if you're unable to work through it in your own minds, what you can do is find support because other individuals are experiencing the stresses also. So they'll be quite open to share and also validate this experience.
Yeah, you mentioned finding support from other people who are going through the same thing, but for people who are not able to get to someone physically, we have to rely on Zoom, we have to rely on all these
Right.
online meetings, but does that really
Yes.
help?
It does help because if you look at the fact that we're having this conversation right now, and I'm sure that there are viewers there, they're wondering what's happening right now. Why am I feeling so drained? Why am I feeling this stressed or this upset? So the fact that we're having open conversation, that we're starting these conversations, they do help.
Yeah, you mentioned self-talk as one way to get yourself out of the funk, but we were just thrown into this, Doc. This
Yeah.
pandemic came out of left field for most of us. So how do I talk myself or talk my friends out of where we are in terms of our anxiety, our fear, all of those things?
All right, so we start by acknowledging what is happening around us. So we don't keep it on the inside. The fact that we're able to share this knowledge with others is a first step. So that way you're getting it out. So you're not keeping it on the inside. Because the minute we keep it on the inside, then what happens is that you'll find that persons will go to the emergency room. They believe that they're having a heart attack. Or you'll find that persons may isolate because they're feeling quite depressed. or you may find that persons may act out of character. So they'll become angry and they'll lash out. The thing is, when we have emotions, they're not meant to be stored on the inside. They're meant to be acknowledged, they're meant to be labeled, they're meant to be validated so that we can get through them. And the reason why we're human beings is that we have other human beings around so that we can interact and engage, and they can also validate our experience. So it's nothing that we've imagined. We're all seeing it happening around us, so we have space to be able to talk about it.
Doc, how important is it in developing a routine now to help us through this time?
That's extremely important. And I know that that material is perhaps out there and it's being reiterated. Whenever we have chaos in the mind and the emotions and the thoughts, they're out of control. I mean, you mentioned that this thing hit us suddenly. And yes, so I am observing, I'm a human being, so I'm seeing it also, experiencing it also. Whenever it is that we have chaos and we create routines, the routines help us to keep the chaos, keep the anxiety, keep the thoughts and the emotions in check. And when we talk about routines, we're talking about the sleep schedule. So if it's the case that you have work and you'd have a normal work schedule for sleep, then it's important to try to maintain that sleep schedule. Because what has happened is that persons, they're at home, they're not as engaged, they find themselves sleeping at 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and then they get up. So you're throwing off your sleep schedule. And what that does is that then it impacts your mealtime. And there are some persons who may overeat during this time, and there are some persons who may not have the appetite. So when you create that schedule, the sleep schedule, for instance, it helps for you to recognize, okay, this is breakfast time. I need to keep this. I need to get the fuel in. This is lunchtime. This is dinner time. And for persons who are having challenges with the lack of appetite, that structure will also help them to eat mechanically, even at first, until they get into the routine.
Indeed. Doc, before we go, I'd like to ask, how are you doing in this time?
I'm doing well. So I acknowledge that it's a challenging time, but I do have social support. And during this time, you do have patients who are pretty upset, and they do have to work through their own struggles. So I have to make sure that I'm in a place where patients can come and they can discuss what's happening. So I am pushing, I'm pressing on during this difficult time. And that's what I'd like to encourage persons to do. During this time, it may feel as if you're paralyzed. It may feel as if you don't want to move on with things. But the thing is, life is still going on. Like, we've started this interview and we've had a couple of minutes in this interview, so we can't go back to the past, and it's moving forward. So you have to think about the goals that you're working towards, your future goals, and get going, because all of this is going to require being action-oriented. Action in terms of your decision-making, action in terms of exercising, action in terms of getting out of bed, action in terms of eating, action in terms of your perspective on life. And there's another thing that I wanted to add. This is a difficult situation, and we have choices. So we have helpful and unhelpful choices. A helpful way of looking at this situation is that in each difficult circumstances, we do have an opportunity to find a lesson in this. So perhaps, the lesson is that we were way too caught up in ourselves, and we weren't kind and compassionate to others. We were self-centered, and we weren't thinking about how our actions can affect others. We perhaps weren't grateful enough or appreciative enough. These are just some examples, but you can look at what is it that I can learn from this, and how would I like to improve myself in a helpful way.
Yeah, indeed, Doc. There's a lot to learn. Thank you so much, Dr.
You're
Carol
welcome.
James Bateman, clinical psychologist, speaking about how to deal with anxiety in this time of COVID-19. More on Smile after the break.
10 minutes to your health